Okay, again, let's use Cramer's rule. Everything appears to be in nice, neat, standard form. So we need to start by looking at determinant D, which has the coefficients of all the numbers to the left of the equal sign. So reading down columns, we have -5, 2, and 3, followed by -6, 1, and -4. And the Z column gives me 8, -4, and -1. I always do this first because I want to make sure D isn't 0. Let's bring out the first two columns and rewrite them off to the right. Be very careful that you don't lose any minus signs. And then let's do all the multiplication of these diagonals on our way down here. First diagonal, -5 times 1 times -1 gives me +5. Second diagonal, -6 times -4, that's 24 times 3 is 72. My pen slipped. Then finally, 8 times 2 is 16, times -4 is -64. I have 77 minus 64, which is 13. Now let's find all of our products going upward. 3 times 1 times 8 is 24. Change it to a -24. -4 times -4 times -5 would be -80, but we change it to a +80. Finally, -1 times 2 times -6 is 12. We change that to a -12. So we have 44 when we add across, with the 13 down below gives us 57. Since that is not equal to 0, that means we can continue on with this problem and it will not be a no solution or infinite number of solutions type of problem. We now need to get the 1, 5, and -2 from the right side of the equation into our determinants. So we're going to set up determinants dx, dy, and dz. dx is going to be a 3 by 3 with the 1, 5, -2 in the first column. Move down a little bit. dy is going to have the 1, 5, -2 in the middle column. And dz is going to have the 1, 5, -2 in the third column. So this is all the setup that we have to go through first. Now dx, I've got the first column filled in. I need the second and third column, which I can find right up above there, to be -6, 1, and -4, 8, -4, and -1. For dy, I'm missing the first and the third column. So I go back to the original problem. The x column has coefficients of -5, 2, and 3, and the z column has 8, -4, and -1. And finally, moving down here to dz, I'm missing the first column of -5, 2, and 3, and the second column, which is -6, 1, and -4. So we're going through all this setup phase. Now I need to evaluate each of these. So for dx, I bring out the first two columns, 1, 5, -2, and -6, 1, and -4. And let's just do that for the other two determinants while we're at it. -5, 2, 3, 1, 5, -2. And for dz, bring out the -5, 2, 3, -6, 1, -4. And be careful not to miss any negatives. Now we begin all the multiplication. 1 times 1 times -1 makes -1. -6 times -4 is 24 times -2, which makes -48. And then we have 8 times 5, which is 40, times -4, which is -60. And adding across, I get -209. Now I multiply upward. -2 times 1 times 8 is -16. I change that to a +16. -4 times -4 is 16 times 1 is 16. Change that to a -16, so those cancel out. And then finally, -1 times 5 times -6 is 30. Change that to a -30. And adding across the top, we have -30. Put the top and the bottom together, we have -239 right there. Okay, moving on to dy. First diagonal, negative 5 times 1 is 25. Second diagonal, 1 times negative 4 times 3 makes negative 12. Third diagonal, 8 times 2 is 16, times negative 2 is minus 32. And 25 minus 12 minus 32 is negative 19. Multiplying upward, 3 times 5 is 15, times 8 is 120. Change that to a minus 120. 2 times negative 4, negative 2 times negative 4, that's 8, times negative 4 times negative 5 is negative 40. Change that to a positive 40. Negative 1 times 2 times 1 is negative 2. Change that to a positive 2. Add across to get negative 78. Add the top and the bottom together to get negative 97. These are some ugly numbers. Finally, for dz, here we go. Negative 5 times 1 times negative 2 is 10. Second diagonal, negative 6 times 5 is negative 30 times 3 makes negative 90. And the third diagonal, 1 times 2 times negative 4 makes negative 8. And so we have negative 88 when adding across the bottom there. Multiplying upward, 3 times 1 is 3. Change it to a negative 3. Then we have negative 4 times 5 times negative 5. That would be 100. We change that to a minus 100. And finally, negative 2 times negative 6 would give me positive 24. I change that to a negative 24. Add across to get negative 127. Add the top and the bottom together here to get negative 215. Okay, now we use Cramer's rule, which says take our dx and put it over d to get negative 239 over 57, comma, dy, that's a negative 97 over 57, and dz, negative 215 over 57. Ugly as that is our solution set.